Hey guys, welcome for Game Bed today, beginning our video, and today we are jumping in for our very first Modern Warfare 2 movie weapon series. Today we're covering the Mark 18 CQB Mod 0 used by Chris Kyle or Bradley Cooper in the movie American Sniper. So I got a chance to watch this the other day again and really was loving it, so I'm going to be building this up and we'll use it as it's used in the movie by Bradley Cooper or the character Chris Kyle. And we'll get into that and show some gameplay here, how I'm using it like that. So backing out, here's the final design you guys can see here. And we'll go over this. So backing out, let's go to the base M4A1. Obviously, you can pick whatever different blueprint you want there, but we are going to be putting a camouflage color on here, so it makes more sense to use the base. Go ahead for the gunsmith. Now, first up, we're going to leave the base stock. We don't really have that, the correct stock option that we see in the movie, that salt mod stock or the crane stock, so we don't really have that, so we'll just leave the base stock option here and save on the attachments. For the barrel, to make this a Mark 18, I'll link the weapon conversion that we did below for this, but here we're going to want the, really ideally he has the gas block version, which is similar to what we have here with this shroud, carbine shroud, but it is a different handguard and everything. So we're going to go ahead and run with the because we're missing the front sight aperture is not present when we put attachments on this, and you don't have one here. You have flip up sights. In the movie, you'll see he does have the front sight gas block there, which unfortunately we don't have the option to have that and sights here in the game, but not a big deal. 11.5 inch TH4 barrel is going to give us the aim down sight speed and the hip recoil control. Now, this is the right Mark 18 type barrel. However, this one is 11.5 versus the 10.3 inch in real life. So we'll go ahead. We're actually going to use the Union Guard blueprint here, because when we put the camo on this, you'll see what happens to that Union Jack there. But this is going to give us that rail cover as well as good cable management when we put a PEC on there. So we'll go ahead and select that. Now for the muzzle device, we're going to go ahead and, in the movie, I believe he is running a Knights armament suppressor. So we're going to go ahead and want the FSS Covert V. This is the closest we can get here. Sound suppression, bullet velocity, recoil smoothness. We'll go ahead, and again, the Union Guard blueprint will give us that tan painted design for the suppressor. We'll go ahead and select that. For the underbarrel attachment here, this one, you'll see really in the movie, the most accurate one would be the Lockwood Precision here, is really the exact sight for that wrist foregrip. But again, in the movie, Chris Kyle's character, or Bradley Cooper's character, Chris Kyle, has it like taped up, so it's extra thick looking. So we're going to want the Merc foregrip, but again, either of those is fine. You can really go with any of these three here, but the right design, I feel it looks more accurate with the Merc foregrip versus the Lockwood Precision. So we'll go ahead and select that. Gonna leave the base ammunition, base magazine, skip out on the rear sight as well. We already discussed the stock. So for the optic, I believe in the movie he's running an aim point, so really if you want to be more accurate, you go with the aim op V4, or to be closest would be the SZ Soro 7, would be both kind of aim point-esque optics. But for this one, I decided to go with a slightly different optic, just because when I was watching the movie, it looked more like, to me, like he had a flip sight in some instances, but it really was not. He was using an aim point. But we'll go ahead. I like this vortex option here just because it gives you a clean red dot sight, and you can see in the gameplay it just fits the playstyle really well. But if you're trying to play with this competitively, I would say you definitely would want to use probably one of the aim point ones, which we discussed. So you'd probably want to use the AIM-OP V4 or the SC Soro 7 would be probably the more ideal options, but like I said, for the gameplay here, I thought it was really fun, so I switched it up. This is really personal preference, but if you want to be more accurate, you go with one of those two. So we're going to go with the Vortex 90. I'm going to go with the Raid Whisperer blueprint just because the camouflage will look a little bit cleaner on that. And then for the laser option, we're going to go ahead and run the Ollie V laser. So in the movie, he's running, I believe, a PEC 2 on the top rail, and he also kind of has some laser light combos going on there with a laser, or he has a PEC 2 on the top, and sometimes it looks like he has a flashlight on one of the side rails as well. We don't really have that option here, but we'll go ahead and use the outside voice blueprint, and that's going to give us the final design. And for the customization, the scales camo seems to work best with this to kind of closely replicate what's being used in the movie. And here's the final design here, so you can see especially with that handguard there. We have the rail cover here. That Union Jack is pretty much very, very difficult to see. You can still kind of see it in the right lighting, but not really. So we'll go ahead. You can see that the rail cover looks nice and clean. We have the foregrip. And then over here we have that Ollie V laser, which is again tan because we picked that blueprint option. And then you see the cable management there with this blueprint. I don't believe this is present on other blueprints that use the different barrel attachment or the blueprint option. So you can see the cable coming from the PEC up on top, and then cable management up there on the top where you would press to activate. So looks really clean. I really like how this looks. You can see there, just great. You have the full build. It looks very accurate to what the final design is in the movie, minus some things. Now, again, you could swap out the Optic if you really wanted to be probably closer to the movie options or build that he has. We would go with that Soro 7. This one's pretty accurate also. You can see there, that also looks very, very clean and nice. But I'm going to stick with the Vortex 9 just because I think that one complements the weapon very well. So we'll go ahead. You can see how the blueprint options change the camo pattern there. So with the Raid Whisper, it just looks a little bit more worn, which I like. And then jumping into the firing range with this weapon, you guys can see it quick. Look at the recoil pattern. Obviously, this is more of a close quarters weapon build, close quarters battle receiver. So we'll go ahead and you can see, ideally, in the movie, he's using it in single fire pretty much all the time. There's only 1 or 2 instances where he goes full auto. So if we're just going to use it, switch to single fire and tap fire, you can see very accurate, and you'll see it in the gameplay too, extremely accurate. Just kind of, he's a lot of engagements where he's just sending rounds down range in this single fire select fire as fast as possible, especially where he's engaging Mustafa the sniper. So a lot of that. Obviously, you can go full auto here if you really wanted to. Not going to be as accurate, which again in real life would hold true. You're not really ever going to utilize full auto unless you're in emergency close quarter situations. And there we go. So beautiful looking design. Here's the final build of the weapon here. Looks really, really clean. We have that windowed P-Mag. Unfortunately, we don't have a steel Stenag mag there. But you can see here, jumping to the gameplay, we're playing here on the Los Alamos map for the Mexican map. Just because I thought it was kind of the better urban map option to replicate kind of the streets of Afghanistan, the urban combat, Fallujah, things like that, Iraq, Afghanistan, all of that, those engagements where he was deployed. So that, I felt, was the best map to kind of replicate that gameplay. We're going to be running it in single fire the majority of the gameplay here. However, I will switch to full auto in some cases, and you'll notice the shotgun I have here trying to run more of a master key at close quarters, and we get into some really nice engagements with this as well. But a great looking build. This is something I'm going to be running a lot in DMZ. Also, probably doing more. I have some builds here I want to probably do some additional DMZ videos on. But again, just a really nice weapon in the movie. It's exactly what we have here. Just some minor aesthetic differences. Hopefully, we can get some more blueprints down the road. But obviously, he's using Mark 18 with that salt mod crane stock. I believe in some of the ones they have the rear sights are the LMT rear sights. You have the EOTechs, aim points, everything like that. You have the grip, so in the tan spray, the Knight's Armament Suppressor. So it's just a really nice looking weapon, and trying to use it as accurate as we can to how the Navy SEALs would use it, especially here in the film. So really good gameplay. I really enjoyed this. Definitely going to take this as a good weapon. Not sure how feasible it will be in Warzone, depending on how you play, but for DMZ, this is definitely going to be a great option. So I'm excited to take this into DMZ. Now, American Sniper, based on true story, also based on the book written by Chris Kyle. So the description over on IMDb is a Navy SEAL sniper. Chris Kyle's pinpoint accuracy saves countless lives on the battlefield and turns him into a legend. Back home with his family after 4 tours of duty. However, Chris finds that it is the war he can't leave behind. Now, this was directed by Clint Eastwood, and the stars were Bradley Cooper, Sienna Miller, and Kyle Gallner. And I believe this was released in 2015. So I remember going to see this in theaters a couple times, actually. A really good movie. I really enjoyed the combat scenes, really compelling story. And again, based largely on Chris Kyle's book. The real life accounts of what he did in his tour of duty. I think maybe some things were embellished a little bit, which were proven in some instances after the fact. But again, a great story, really fits the big screen really well. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought Bradley Cooper did a great job in this role. So great movie. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend it on any of your streaming services. I believe you can probably rent this on Amazon Prime for around $4. Definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it. And if you have seen it, definitely recommend watching it again. Great movie. A lot of great combat scenes, and it's really cool to see the attention to detail that you see in this movie for the Navy SEALs. A lot of the combat engagements, things like that, and the real world effects that a lot of soldiers go through after the fact, coming home from war. I think it does a really good job of highlighting a lot of that as well. So let me know your thoughts down below. Again, this is the Mark 18 Mod 0 CQBR, used by Bradley Cooper, his character, Chris Kyle, Navy SEAL, in the movie American Sniper. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will link down below the Mark 18 CQBR weapon conversion video that I did here on the channel for the first conversion for Modern Warfare 2's. And this is going to be the first movie weapon series here on the channel. So I know a lot of you guys have been asking for this series to return. Here's the first one. We'll be doing more down the road. I'm really kind of waiting for Season 2 to see what kind of blueprints we get. And I would be very unfortunate if we get to Season 2 and we get a more decked out M4 blueprint. And I end up jumping the gun on this video. But I thought we could build it close enough. So let me know your thoughts down below. Social media links, all of that is down below in the description box. We have Twitter, Instagram, probably some of the best places to get a hold of me, as well as the Discord is down there. We have a really great community. You guys can join up with that and also message me over there. And then we have the Twitch link down below as well. I do live streams on there here and there as well. And the best place is obviously here on YouTube. So make sure you hit that bell, subscriber notifications turned on. Till next time, this is Buffner Gaming with Chris Kyle's Mark 18 Mod 0 CQBR. Till next time, Buffner Gaming out.
Airstrike standing by.
1-1 requesting recon at this time.
Copy that. UAV online and orbiting the AO. At this time. Copy. Longbow 3-1 on the road. Strike inbound. Enemy spot. Impact. No hit.
Enemy down!
UAV ready for tasking.
Attacks! Frag out! Reloading! Target down! Round! One requesting recon at this time.
Copy that. UAV online and orbiting the AO. Copy that. Longbow 3-1 is on station. Strike inbound. UAV is bingo fuel. RTB at this time. Direct hit. Ready to deploy. We've got him on the run. Keep it up.
Grenade! 1-1 requesting recon at this time.
Copy that. UAV online and orbiting the AO.
Enemy down.
Mission complete. Solid work.